All right, we're back here to try to finish up this project, and we're gonna get started right after that cow quits mooing. There we go. So right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. The cow is a faithful viewer, I can hear. And I went and got some filters and oil. It's actually evening time, and the sun will probably set on us. I would say they're all milking right now. But we're gonna try to get this done. And we gotta come back to fix that anyway sometime, so if I don't get the gauge done right now, I'll do that in the daytime with that. But I guess we'll start with air filter. That's a real great view for you, isn't it? But here's the number you need if you go to one of the Napa stores. That should be the right one. And also something that the other one didn't have that you need is this little washer. So and the can is dented on this one. I did not realize until I took it out a while ago and started feeling around in there. So I don't know if we're gonna accomplish this task or not. I thought we would. We probably didn't bring enough stuff. There we go. That's how it's supposed to come off. The lid independent of this mounting screw. Now we should be able to make this happen, providing it's not so dented up we can't. Alright, the can might be too dented up to get this too dented up to get this lid on there right. We're gonna try, but we may not succeed. I know ours isn't perfect because one time it came back from the field. Grandpa had been using it, and I, for some reason, looked under there and realized the lid was missing. I went out to the field and I found it, and it was scrunched pretty bad. I hammered it straight, and we go again. All right, we're gonna call that part. Now we're gonna change the oil. All right, it's gonna get super dark and you're not gonna be able to see what we're doing. But we're gonna try. I brought an open top bucket, of all things. Ooh, that wasn't as hard to get loose as I thought it would. But we're gonna listen for a large clunk in the bucket, like any pieces of governor still rattling around. Nothing yet. That's good though. That means that it wasn't as bad as I thought it could be. Now, whilst it's draining, we're going to change the filter. All right. And he said that this filter they had on the shelf, so the oil has been changed in the last 5 years or so. Boy, that's dry though. Nothing came out of it. Usually oil comes out of that. That kind of concerns me. I know I didn't run it just now before I started, but why is... Yeah, well, that ship sailed. Asking why, we just go along with it at this point. Always lube your rubber before going, or sadness could happen. I'll have to remember to bring a Sharpie too next time and write the day. That's probably tight enough. I'm a pretty big old boy. Beautiful. I have to say, I'm pleasantly surprised and happy about the viscosity of that oil we drained out. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. So now we just got to put in the new. Let's see. The nice thing about these is if you're patient, you don't need a funnel. But if it's dark, like it is right here, you might make a mistake like I just did. Getting a little too fast. You won't get the whole jug empty either that way, but at least you don't need a funnel. So in case you're wondering, then when I'm done, I just pour all the jugs into one jug and then go again. That should still need some. Yeah. Usually most ag engines hold about 10 quarts. I can't remember off the top of my head if that's what this is supposed to have, but that's a general rule of thumb, especially diesels. I'm going to stop with that first. Let's see that again. It's a little over full, but the filter is empty. So we are going to run it now and see what we got. I guess also before I run it, I'm going to put some antifreeze in it because I think it's pretty low. Hopefully I'm wrong on that too, and it's just where I can't quite see it, but you know, last year when I put the water pump on, I know it was full, but since then, who knows? Well, friends, I'd like to say that's good news, but it held a whole gallon and it's still not up there. So I'm gonna go fill this jug and go again. So not quite 2 gallons. That ain't great. That is not great. But what's a guy to do? Mine problem was not that. Fires right up, don't you? Just make sure it builds some oil pressure. Let's make sure it builds some oil pressure. There it goes. Of smoke kind of makes me question the head gasket situation. All right, so it's a runner. I'm going to put the sheet metal back on. I'm going to take that piece of sheet metal off and see if we can't figure out why that gauge don't work. But this part should be, our part should be done. I don't think that the trouble is here. And the only reason I don't think that is because none of those gauges worked. Yeah, they should both do that and nothing did. So I'm gonna slap these on and we'll take that off. All right, sheet metal's back on. Front half of the tractor should be done. We're gonna pull this so we can get back in there and see what's going on. Will we be able to fix it? I don't know. We may not have enough stuff with us. We may need more than what we got. But all I know is they know jump, and they should. Both of those gauges should twitch when you turn the key on, and they don't do it. Oh, see what happens when I start talking and not paying attention? Start taking the wrong thing loose. We'll probably get there, but not just yet. Wouldn't it be lovely if it was just a simple broken wire? What's the chances of that? Probably not very much. What an oily mess of sadness. Almost like steering lines have been leaking, or are leaking currently. So, if we look at our stuff, that is our wire from our sender. This here is our wire that should be giving power, and it's hooked to a fuse holder that has absolutely nothing in it. The other one is hooked to a supposed light switch, which also does nothing. And why does that one do nothing? Well, this one that we need is almost broke off. And another thing I don't understand is, okay, I see what's going on. I tried to do this the other day when I was driving it down the driveway, and that was switch one fuse holder to the next thingamabob there, and that fuse holder I think is sacked out. So I'm gonna have to look in the truck and hope that I got one of these with me, and if not, we're gonna be in a mess. But I'd almost bet that that's my trouble, because if I were to put my little tester on to something here, and I could get it where I could actually see. Okay, so here at the switch I have 12.7 volts. I technically, when I turn this on, I should get voltage, and I do. So that wire is good, but it's almost broken off, just almost. And see, then I'm not getting anything because I don't have the lid. If I jam this in there, it's obviously something messed up in it because I can't get it to happen. So we're gonna have to replace that fuse holder to start with. Don't even have to take this loose. It's gonna break. Too far gone. I didn't, I got a fuse holder. But by some sad stroke of luck, I didn't throw any fuses in my electrical toolbox. So we're gonna borrow this fuse to see if it works, and I'll bring back one to replace it. We'll work on that Massey Ferguson. The new style fuse holders are a little bit different, but a little bit cheaply made, if that's a word. But such is life. I mean, all right. They're also a little bit smaller in diameter, so you kind of gotta deal with some stuff. Wires back on. Let's try that right there, and then let's try. Not gonna have room for the insulator, I don't think. So I'm gonna have to just put her in dry. That's okay. under that mess. I'm not even gonna look at what they've done with that toggle switch. That breaks my brain. All right, now we're gonna have to borrow. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Shh. We'll probably take that cap in our box with us so it doesn't get lost in the meantime, in case they tear off down the road with it or something. But now we got nothing. Why we got nothing? Is our fuse a piece of garbage? We might be hosed all the way around. That fuse there might be nothing. We'll let that idle so we don't burn up the points with the key on. Huh. Why am I not getting voltage to here? Something ain't right in La La Land. There's voltage there. Nothing there. So that fuse is jumped. Alright, so we have to acquire some good fuses. I'm really bummed. I thought I always had some in my toolbox there, but I don't. So I'm betting that we're probably going to table this. I had some flat fuses, but I don't know why I don't have the right ones here. So shoot. Okay friends, are you recording? I can't tell. But I found a fuse. I found one fuse. It's way too much for what it's supposed to be. So we need to definitely bring a lower one. That twitched them. And it's probably climbing faster than it should, so that probably means it does have problems, but it's working. And see if we can't get it out of here. I forgot he wanted the clutch adjusted too, so we're gonna have to come back and do that, because see, it's got a lot of weird travel for it. And we're gonna run it up and down the driveway. By the time we get to the end of the driveway, that gauge is going to be pretty far up there. See, it doesn't grab till right there. last time that thing caught the tire and swung up by my head, and I'd rather not do that. Well, that's a bunch of baloney. A brand new Ting Ting, and it doesn't even last till the end of the... This is why we test drive. That's a bunch of ridiculousness right there. Ting Ting repair. That really sucks. I'm gonna have to find another nut to double nut it or something, and then we're gonna adjust that clutch. All right, he wanted his clutch adjusted, and there was no free play in it at all. I gave it a little, but I don't think it's enough, and I'm wondering if his clutch is just wore out. And somebody tried to adjust it enough to get it. See, that's better. That might be enough. I'm tempted to go a little more. I think it should start moving just a little bit sooner. Let's see what that does. As long as it stops it, I think that's a lot better. That feels more natural. I'm trying to hurry now because I'd like to go do my feeding in the sunlight, not the dark. Let's take it for one more rip and then see if it's done. I think that's a lot better. friends, I think we can call this a success. We saved this thing's life yet again somehow, and it's not getting overly hot driving it, and I think mainly what they do is just pull wagons with it, so hopefully it will last them a long time. It's serviced, it should be ready to go. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.